All right. So today we're going deep on something kind of, I don't know, interesting, maybe even a little bit sad.
Hmm.
Marriages that just don't last,
Yeah.
like at all.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking those couples that split up practically before the wedding cake goes stale.
Some people would say before the ink on the marriage license is even dry.
Exactly.
Wild, right?
It really is.
I mean, I guess it
And
happens.
we actually have this article that kind of kicks things off. It's titled Divorces. We want to know why your marriage lasted 1 year or less.
Ooh, juicy.
But, while they're focusing on those individual stories, we're going to step back and try to see if there's any sort of, I don't know, bigger picture,
Right, like are there trends?
trends or patterns, yeah, that might explain this whole
Phenomenon.
phenomenon, yeah, of like super short marriages.
It's a good question, and it kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
It does, it does.
About what actually goes into making a relationship last.
Well, and I think we all kind of know that the first year of marriage can be tough, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like you're basically merging your entire lives.
Yeah, everything all at once.
Finances, routines, maybe you're still paying off that wedding. And there's just this pressure
Oh, yeah.
to like
Make it work.
make it work and be
Let's
happy.
have the perfect honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. But I mean, some of these splits, like we're talking, happen so fast, it makes you wonder if there's like more to it.
Yeah, like were there red flags they just missed?
Maybe. Yeah.
Or maybe it's even deeper than that.
Oh,
There's a reason those first few years are often called make it or break it.
is there actually research on that?
Oh, yeah, really?
Like the Gottman Institute,
Yeah, I've heard of them.
they found that something like 40% of divorces happen within the first 5 years.
Whoa, 40%.
That initial period can be kind of like a crucible,
A crucible, that's a good word for it.
where those tiny little cracks you might not even notice at first. Suddenly they become like fault lines.
So then what makes those first few years so fragile, right?
Like, is it just that adjustment period or is it something, I don't know, deeper?
Well, you have the obvious stuff, of course. Figuring out where to live, who does what chores, money stuff,
Yeah, sharing a bathroom,
sharing a bathroom for the first time.
all of that.
But it's also when reality sets in, right? You start to see your partner.
For who they really are.
Yeah, like warts and all, no more pretending.
That's when those secrets come out too, right?
Oh, definitely.
Like the article mentioned, those bombshells that just completely derail everything.
Some stuff you just can't come back from.
So, like, besides the obvious, I don't know, like a secret family or something,
Right.
what kind of secret could be so huge it leads to, a split basically right away?
Well, think about it. What are some things you just assume about your partner when you get married?
Oh, okay, I see.
You assume they're going to be faithful, honest about money, that you share the same values.
Yeah, you're on the same page about the big stuff.
Exactly. And what if it turns out they're not? What if they have tons of debt they never mentioned? Or completely different views on having kids, where to live?
Whoa, okay, yeah, those are big.
Those aren't just little disagreements, those are
Deal breakers.
more like foundational cracks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you're not just merging your lives at that point,
Right.
you're merging futures.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
And if those futures don't align, well,
It's doomed from the start.
pretty much. And then there's the whole psychology of keeping secrets.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
It eats away at trust. It makes it hard to communicate openly.
Resentment builds up.
Exactly. And pretty soon you're living with someone who feels like a stranger.
Not exactly romantic.
Not at all.
Okay, so we talked about secrets,
Hmm.
but the article also brought up something I found really interesting.
Oh, what's that?
They said that planning a wedding can actually expose deal breakers.
Oh, for sure.
Like all that stress and decision making,
And magnifies everything.
it does, right? It turns those little things into big problems.
There's even research showing that couples who are super stressed before the wedding, they're more likely to have problems later on.
Oh, wow, seriously?
Yeah, it's in the Journal of Family Psychology, I think.
Interesting.
Think about it. Planning a wedding forces you to make these huge decisions together, quickly, often involving families and a lot of money.
Right, with everyone giving their opinions?
Yeah, it's a pressure cooker that can really expose...
Incompatibilities.
Exact.
It's like you might find out your partner is, I don't know, a total control freak about the flower arrangements,
Oh, yeah, I've heard stories.
or that they can't budget to save their lives.
Blowing the whole budget on like a Dove release.
Or Maybe you discover that your families absolutely cannot stand each other.
That's always fun.
Oh, yeah, great for the holidays.
But it goes even deeper than that. You're not just picking out centerpieces, you're figuring out how you make decisions as a couple.
Oh, that's a good point.
And if those patterns aren't healthy, it's a sign of things to come.
It's like a little preview of married life.
Kinda, yeah. Though, gotta say, it does make you wonder
What's that?
if the whole wedding planning thing is almost like a compatibility test.
Like a trial run.
Yeah, if you can survive that without wanting to throttle each other,
You might have a shot.
maybe. But there's another side to all of this.
Oh,
Ending a marriage quickly, even if it seems kind of shocking,
right.
it can actually be a sign that someone knows themselves,
Self-aware,
Yeah, they recognize that something's not working and they're willing to make a change.
even if it's hard.
Exactly. It takes courage to do that.
That's a good way to look at it. It's not about judging, it's about understanding why it happens.
Right. And ultimately, it all comes back to communication, being honest with each other, and being willing to put in the effort, both on your own and as a couple.
So we've talked about those challenges of the first year, the weight of secrets, and even how planning a wedding can be a deal breaker in disguise.
It's complicated, that's for sure.
It is. There's a lot to think about.
Definitely. But it really highlights that relationships, especially marriage, they're always evolving.
Always a work in progress.
Exactly.
And now for a final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
What if we as a society took some of the pressure off marriage?
Interesting.
Like, what if we stopped seeing it as this forever contract
Right.
and started seeing it more as a journey, one that could change over time?
I like that.
Would we see even more quick divorces, or would couples actually be more willing to face those challenges head on?
To really work through them.
Yeah, and maybe, just maybe, build stronger, more genuine relationships in the long run.
Now that's something worth thinking about.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today.
Until next time.
Take care.
You too.